taking testosterone?
Yeah.
You feel stronger?
I feel frustrated, yeah. Like, within 3 months, my testosterone's gone from 0.09 to 15.
Wow.
Yeah, everything, and I've seen massive changes in my body already.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel stronger, I've got more energy. I'm smashing out 3Ds.
And what about your PT? You get any clients?
Yeah. It's just steady, yeah. Just fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big warm welcome here this evening from the Greenback Sports Academy in Liverpool. We're live and exclusively on Black Flash Promotions YouTube channel. Mr. Pat Barrett for Black Flash Promotions, proudly sponsored by Cooney Insulation, Manchester Joinery, Four Corners and Income After Sport. The official gold partner, Exigo, proudly presents an evening of professional boxing. Welcome to Mersey Mayhem. We are now ready to welcome our first boxers to the ring. Please welcome first to the blue corner, from Manchester, Luke Thomas. Gentlemen, please welcome to the red corner, from right here in Liverpool, Joe O'Connor! Ladies and gentlemen, our first contest of the evening is 4 rounds of action in the super welterweight division. Our timekeeper at the bell for this contest is Mr. Phil Morris, MBE. Our referee in the ring, Andy Kremner, and scoring the contest from ringside is John Latham. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our officials. It is now time to introduce our boxers. Introducing first and boxing out of the blue corner, wearing black shorts with gold. On the scales, he weighed in 11 stone and 15 ounces. This evening taking part in his 8th contest as a professional, from Manchester, Lightning, Luke Thomas! And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent facing him across the ring and boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black shorts with green. On the scales, he weighed in 11 stone and 2 pounds. He comes to the ring with a perfect professional record. 2 wins from 2 contests from right here in Liverpool, Joe O'Connor!
So welcome to our viewers joining us live and exclusive on YouTube. It looks like it's going to be a good night of boxing. Mersey Mayhem from the Greenbank Sports Academy over in Liverpool. I'm Dan Murray. I'm joined by undefeated professional boxer Josh Palladino. Josh, how's it going, mate? You okay?
Yeah, all good, thank you. It's going to be a good night of boxing. 10 fights on tonight, so plenty of action.
Yeah, so Joe O'Connell, he's not quite a year into his professional career so far. We've seen him a couple of times before.
Yeah, he actually fought last time at the Greenbank, the same venue was here, against Dale Arrowsmith.
Yeah, that was back in December, and he looks like he's started quite positive here. He's on the front foot and he's really taking the fight to Luke Thomas, and I think that's what he needs to do. I mean, I think last time it was he got the win, and that's what you want, and he was impressive in spells, but the consistency in the fight, it just wasn't there last time, and I think he's going to be looking to make those improvements. He's going to look to start fast, really impose himself on the fight and make a statement. But so far, 2 fights undefeated and showing lots of promise.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I like how he's using his feints and working the jab at early doors in that first round. So, yeah, he's doing well so far.
It's sometimes difficult, isn't it? Because Luke Thomas is a busy fighter. I know he's got a few fights lined up. For Joe here, he just needs to find a way of opening him up, because Luke will be quite happy just to see the rounds out, won't he? But Joe's just got to find a way to open him up and kind of land his shots. And he started well there. You talk about his jab and his feinting. Oh, good right hand.
There we go. It's just giving, especially these journeymen, like a different look, because they've seen it all before. You need to give them something that's going to keep them thinking.
Yeah. Oh, good right hand.
Just like that there.
He's landed 2 cracking right hands this round. And already I'm seeing improvements from the last time we saw him in December. There's a lot more urgency about his work as well. It's like you say, showing the journeyman something different, showing him a different tempo as well. Joe started this fight quite lively.
Definitely. Yeah, he's just got to be careful not to use it too much. Obviously, it's working, and you got to keep doing what's working. But eventually, your opponent can clock onto that early doors and just think he's just got to use the same method he's always been using before. So you got to mix it up now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I'd like to see with Joey's jabbing quite well is just to put that jab downstairs.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it looks like he's hunting for it a little bit now, and you know you can sort of understand why he's doing that, because he has had the success. But like you say, you just need to keep in mind and just remember what got you into that position in the first place. So keep going with the jab. And I would like to see him take the jab downstairs, maybe to bring Luke's hands down a little bit, and then come over the top with that right hand.
Definitely. And it's that he's looking for the right shot as well, because obviously with Luke Thomas, he does have his lead hand down a little bit, so he is open to that right hand, but it's just how you set it up.
Yeah. Good first round there though for Joe. I thought, like, we've talked off air about Joe, and he is a prospect coming through, and I think he's shown us something a lot more than what he's shown us back in December. I liked the first round. He went out, he took the fight by the scruff of the neck. He was very assertive on the jab, and he landed some cracking right hands. I think it's a really good round for him.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the improvements from his last fight, and it's good to see how he's just took what he's learned from that last fight and then incorporated them into this fight. So it's early doors, first round, but I've seen some massive improvements early doors.
What I like about Joe is the activity. So obviously we saw him out in December. He's back out now in February. I know they're going to keep him busy, and for a fighter like Joe starting his career and coming through, that's what it's about, isn't it? Activity. Yeah. Keep him busy and learning on the job. And
I mean, this is what Black Flash Promotions is offering, though, because of how frequent the shows are this year. 26, showcase the skills and stay active.
Yeah, because Joe's 31 years old, and what he needs is activity, and that's what he's going to get with Black Flash Promotions. Like you say, we've got plenty of shows coming up. They could have him out every month if they wanted to, and I think that's what he needs. I think he needs the activity. I think he needs to learn on the job and keep making these incremental improvements every time.
Yeah. And like you say, he just needs to keep active, because obviously 31 years old, you need to get out as many times as you can so you can crack on quickly.
Good job. I think they've just had a word with him in the corner. They've settled Joe down a little bit. He's got back to his jabbing, picking his shots a bit more.
I just like to see him double up that jab a little bit more now, mix it up as opposed to just throwing the single jab, and get back to the feints that he was using before in that first round.
You can certainly see the difference, can't you, between when he's fighting and he's throwing his shots, and he's just switching off a little bit, and Luke's coming into the fight a little bit. So yeah, like what you said there, Josh, just keep busy with that jab. I mean, nice left hook to the body early in the round. He threw a nice right hook to the body as well. So he's got a good repertoire of shots, but he just needs to stay switched on here, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like jab to the body as well. You don't always have to go head hunting. You can jab to the body, and you can set things up by jabbing to the body, so you can set up that right hand that you was landing in that first round.
Yeah. It's a very underrated shot, the jab to the body, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because obviously when you're jabbing to the body, you're bringing your opponent's hands down and you're sinking it down, so they're instantly trying to bring their hands down, and then that leaves them wide open to the right hand over the top. It's a lovely jab, but I just want him to double it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Joe's better when he's on the front foot. And I think, like we talk about that double jab, if he starts throwing that double jab, that'll keep Luke on the back foot, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
And then Joe could follow up with some more shots. But look, he's early in his career, Joe, and it's a learning fight, and he's improving with each fight that goes on. I mean, this is night and day compared to what we saw in December.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can see the improvements that have been made.
And no, it's just down to the activity. The more active you are, the better you're going to get. Ultimately, the more you're fighting, the better you're going to get. Because obviously, it's very annoying when you see fighters of the modern day, you're only fighting 3 times a year, and it's like you don't really want that, especially early doors. You want to get as much experience as you can in order to improve, and when it does come to those big fights, you're ready.
Looking at, and that's the advantage and the beauty of Black Flash Promotions. I've never seen grassroots boxing like this in terms of the amount of shows you've got, the activity for the fighters to keep them busy all the time, and also is what's impressive for me as an outsider, Black Flash Promotions, is the quality of matchmaking. They're getting the fighters the right fights at the right time, aren't they? Like you look at Joe, this fight's a perfect fight for him. I know that Luke's a late change of opponent, but it's still a very good learning fight for him, because you can see this fight. You're watching it, you can see what's working, what's not working, and it'll give Joe the opportunity to go back to the gym after this fight and really study and help him develop even more.
double the jab there, and he closed the distance down a little bit more, so he's a lot more on the front foot, which is loads better. Good to see.
A little bit of a standoff at the moment, but both guys sort of feinting and jabbing, and I think this will suit Luke because Luke will be looking to get through the rounds, and I think it's on Joe just to step up a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, he just needs to keep active and work off his jab, throw the shots, these lovely shots off his jab, not to neglect it.
Looks nice and relaxed, Joe, and it looks nice and loose, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, you just heard in the corner there, 2s and 3s, work the shots, you did keep active, you know, and that's exactly what he needs to hear. Obviously he needs to keep active, let the shots go, work everything off his jab.
Yeah, I think what Joe will learn as he goes through his career is you've got to build on the rounds. He's had a couple of early rounds there where he's obviously won the rounds, he's had a good look, he's had success. Now it's time to build on that and start putting your shots together a little bit. And not allow it to be comfortable for Luke in there. Luke wouldn't mind 4 rounds being comfortable. Yeah. He's probably out again next week. For Joe, we just want to see him go through the gears a little bit, show us even more what he's got. But that being said, it's been a good display so far. I'm impressed with him. He looks loose. He's fighting at a much higher tempo.
But you know what? I feel like with Joe, the longer rounds were suiting better. Yeah. Because of his tempo, and he likes to pick his shots, likes to slow things down a little bit. Whereas if you're doing like the 4 to 6 rounders, you kind of have to keep active. You know, you need to throw a lot more shots because ultimately you've not got enough time. Whereas when you go the longer rounds, you can kind of pick your shots, have a look. You know what I mean? But in these kind of fights, you can't really do that. You need to keep active.
I always feel that 4 rounders are dangerous because you switch off for rounds. Yeah, or you have a couple of close rounds, and all of a sudden the victory's up for grabs, isn't it? I mean, look, he's probably not got a time like what you said to settle down and fight the fight he wants to fight because he's only got the 4 rounds. He needs to get the victory, and like you say, you start trying too much new stuff in there before you know it, you can be chasing the fight a little bit.
Definitely. And I mean, it goes back to saying, like with what we were saying before, the last round, like what Black Flash Promotions is offering as well, even to that down to the press conferences and being media trained. Not many grassroots boxing promotions do that. Like give you that media training to set you up for those big shows because you definitely need it.
Look, it's an apprenticeship. I think it's not just you turn up and fighting. It's an apprenticeship that you're going through where you are going to get involved with the media side of things, and you know you're going to get carefully matched fights, and they're going to keep you nice and busy. So when it does come to a point where you're ready to step up and you maybe go on some of the TV shows, you're not a rabbit in the headlights. And I think you see that quite a lot. You see fighters that, you know, they go on small hall shows and then all of a sudden they're thrust in front of cameras and lights and the pressure, and it gets them a little bit. But with Black Flash Promotions, it is an apprenticeship. They're bringing you through, the guiding you, they're looking after you, and they're matching you right. And like you look at this fight so far, Luke's doing his job. And he's presenting Joe with some problems what Joe has to overcome, but it's a learning fight and it's a really good fight for his development. Yeah, and it's just credit to the promotion itself because it sets fighters up for when they do get to those bigger promotions. Yeah. Look, and that's a beauty. Like it's got people within Black Flash Promotions who've been there, done it. Been there and done it at all levels. They've got a history of bringing people through. Yourself, Barrett's, Nick Ball, Lyndon Arthur, Nick Ball, all these people that have passed through the shows and passed through the gym. then obviously they've got a track history of it. They're experienced. They know what they're doing.
And then look where they are now.
Yeah.
You know, it's the journey, isn't it? And obviously, like we were saying before, we've seen Joe O'Connell in the last fight, and we've seen the improvements he's made from then to now. And it's like you say, it goes back to the journey and how they evolve over time.
Yeah, and the blueprint's there. So Joe's 3 fights in now, and I'm not sure what his ambitions are within the sport, but the blueprint's there and the possibilities there for him now, isn't it? It's February, he's got a fight, he was last out in December, they keep him busy, keep him learning, and the opportunity's there for him.
Yeah.
Luke just landed some nice shots in this round. Just deciding to stand and mitts it a little bit. I think that might suit Joe.
Yeah, I think so. He needs someone that's going to come at him. But he just needs to stay switched on, doesn't he, Joe?
Yeah. Look, Luke lands a good body shot. He's landed a good left hook to the body a couple of times. Joe just needs to stay switched on, keep mobile as well, and don't be stationary for Luke to land those body shots.
See, with Joe, he just needs to go back to what he was doing before in those first 2 rounds and not let Luke do what he's doing right now. He's making it a fight.
End of a good contest for Joe there. I think job done. I think they'll go back to the gym after that. I think there's plenty to celebrate. I think massive improvement since December.
100%.
He looked very loose in there. He looked very relaxed. At times he was using his jab and his feints absolutely brilliantly. He fought a nice high tempo for most of it. But I think there'll be opportunities to go back to the gym and have some learnings from that, and I think that's what it's about. But job done and massive improvement since last time.
Yeah, very good to see as well.
And Luke played his part. He was
especially in that last round. He landed a few body shots. Give some for Joe to go off, you know, as opposed to not dominating all the rounds. You know, he's giving him a little bit of a fight towards the end.
And what I'd like Joe to get straight back into the gym, straight into the back with his coaches, analyse the fight, work on what he can work on, and then obviously come back and hopefully see him again soon. We've got a good night of boxing coming up, haven't we, Josh?
Yeah, 100%. We've got plenty of action, 10 fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a big round of applause for both of our boxers? After 4 rounds of action, we go to John Latham's scorecard, which reads 40 points to 36 in favour of your winner, still undefeated, Joe O'Connell. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for Luke Thomas.
Yeah, pretty much as we thought it's going to be, Josh, isn't it? I mean, like what we said, I think Joe will be pleased with that. Yeah. Overall, really good performance. I think he looked quite loose, and he's got a good array of shots as well, which we've not seen previously. So,
yeah, especially that right hand that he was throwing early doors in the contest, it was good to see, and he landed it quite flush on his chin as well. To be fair, he was looking for the right shot. Next fight, we've got Kieran McDade, brilliant fighter, brilliant amateur as well. Actually, believe it or not. Won plenty of titles in the amateur scene, and I'm looking forward to seeing him box.
Yeah, I seen with Kieran McDade. He had over 100 amateur fights, I believe.
Yeah, he's very experienced in the game, and it's good to see.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he's like in the pro ranks, because I've never seen him fight in the pros.
Sometimes you can get it where a fighter stays amateur a bit too long. Yeah. 100 fights is a long time.
Yeah, it can go 2 ways, can't it?
Yeah.
Cheers, thank you.
And here he is, straight out the ring. How are you feeling, John?
Yeah, tough opponent, but it was the last minute change, so I expected it, you know what I mean? We trained like completely different for a different lad, so once he couldn't get through, it was kind of like tough to like adapt to a different type of opponent, but yeah, got the win.
Yeah.
Won every round, so happy.
Yeah, no, it's good to see, and I mentioned last time, it feels like you were sat here yesterday, but I literally said from your first fight on your debut, you're getting better each time. Do you know what I mean? You're trying new things out. Every time you're in the ring, you're adding new things. I'm assuming that's what you've been working on during your camps. But you can tell you're a good listener as well, because I could hear and see, Boy said giving you certain things to do to add in there, and you was doing it when the time was right. You was finding out, watching him, seeing now's the time to do it, and you just get in there straight away and get it done when you could.
Yeah, it's obviously we got to keep a keen eye to what people from the outside are saying. I only listen to one voice while I'm there, or one voice speaking to me, which is him, saying elite voice. But we got to kind of try and adapt to different opponents. But when he was seeing shots, I didn't think they were on, because obviously I trust what he's got to say to me. I try different things, and I was trying, but it's hard because like I was adapting. I was getting down to a new weight. It's not the same weight that I'm always at.
Yeah.
So I've done middleweight twice, and I went down them extra pounds, and it was hard towards the end. I didn't think it was going to be as hard as to like getting the last couple off, but yeah, it was good to learn and adapt to it, and
yeah, it was a good last round as well. That last round there, when you was throwing a body shot, he'd throw a body shot back in exchange, and it was brilliant.
He's quite smart and crafty. I seen certain things, and I was waiting for him to try something, and sometimes I was waiting a little bit too much when, I like to fire off, and I was waiting for certain shot, and I started catching him, and once I started catching the right hand, he started adapting, so he's not the usual journeyman. He just tucks up, and I was expecting him to come and sit back off a little bit more, but no, he coming out to go.
Yeah. It was good. I'll let you go and get your medical and get checked out, but it's good to see you. I'm sure we'll see you again. Yeah. Congratulations.
Good to be on the shows.
Mate.
Thank you.
I never took this quick hit, no way. Life full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from the city, from the little dad to skyscrapers. It's hard to get started in spots without being a homie. I'm up in here, I'm blocking with heaven. Took on 15 minutes and move a 7. Pure snow, better than watch it go. Application of options, get some lowers and lows.
Where are you, Joe?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponents to the red corner. From Manchester, Kieran the Machine McDade. Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Greenbank Sports Academy here in Liverpool, exclusively on Black Flash Promotions YouTube channel, Mr. Pat Barrett for Black Flash Promotions proudly presents 4 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Our timekeeper at the bell for this contest is Phil Morris, MBE, and our referee in charge scoring the contest, David Mulholland. Introducing our first boxer, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing white shorts with blue and gold. On the scales, he weighed in 11 stone, 8 pounds and 6 ounces. This evening taking part in his 49th contest as a professional, from Leeds, Joe Hardy! And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent, facing him across the ring and boxing out of the red corner, wearing the gold shorts with red trim. On the scales, he weighed in 11 stone, 6 pounds and 10 ounces. He comes to the ring with a perfect record of 2 wins from 2 contests. From Manchester and representing by the German champs belt, Kieran the Machine McDade!
So here we go, bout number 2 of the evening. Kieran McDade. We've seen him before, haven't we, Josh? We commentated on, I think, his debut. And they're keeping him nice and busy. This is his 3rd fight in probably about 4 months.
Yeah.
And we're just talking off air about his amateur background. He had over 100 amateur fights.
Yeah, so very experienced lad.
But he's in here against Joe Hardy. Joe Hardy's at Spirits campaign now.
Oh,
doesn't get stopped much. So I think it'd be a really good learning fight this for Kieran.
Starting off well with a jab there.
Look, I like this start from Kieran. Hands up. Nice and measured with that jab. Nice and neat.
Uses his feet well. I like how relaxed he's been early doors, just measuring with the jab.
Yeah, it's nice and measured and controlled.
Yeah.
He's still early in his career, but he's showing good composure. Nice right to the body there.
You see, with some fighters early doors, they can get a bit too erratic with it and try and do too much too early to try and knock out their opponents and things like that. But with Kieran, he's staying relaxed and looking to pick his shots a bit more and being a little bit more relaxed and composed with it, which is good to see.
Yeah, and nice right hand there. He's had some success this round with the right hand. He's landed a couple of nice right hands to the body, nice right hand to the head. But like you say, it's nice and controlled. He's not getting too greedy. He's not trying to go daft with it.
And he's working it from the jab. He's throwing the shots off the jab, and it's good to see. Lovely jab.
Nice.
And he looks like it sounds like he's brought a crowd with him as well tonight. You can definitely hear the crowd.
Good opening round from Kieran this. Nice and controlled, nice and composed, and a big improvement since I've seen him, or since I saw him on his debut. And he's just applying that pressure with his feet, isn't he?
Yeah. Lovely body shot there.
He's just creeping into range, keeping Joe under pressure at all times.
Yeah, definitely. And he's looking for the right shots. He's working to the body because obviously Joe Hardy keeps his hands up high. He's wide open to the body, keeps his elbows up high. So he's looking for the right shots.
Very, very impressive opening round that from Kieran.
100%.
Thought he looked really good from the opening bell. I think his balance is really good. I like his feet. Yeah. He's up on his toes. He uses his jab well. And when he has success, when he lands a shot, he doesn't get too greedy with it. I think if he wants to go a step further and start opening Joe up now, I think the perfect shot's a right uppercut. I'm not entirely sure whether Kieran's got that in his repertoire, but a right uppercut Joe looks open to. So you land your jab a couple of times, bring it through the gap between his hands, and then build on that, maybe switch it downstairs.
Yeah, definitely, because Joe Hardy comes square on, doesn't he? So and he keeps his hands up high. So yeah, you're right there. The uppercut's a perfect shot to land.
Really good first round. Looks mature for his third fight as well, and massive improvement from his debut as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes on your pro debut, the nerves can get to you.
Yeah.
Because it can go one or two ways. Sometimes you don't perform as well because of those nerves, or it can make you where you can obviously have a good performance. So, but he's definitely built on that and took that experience, and he's obviously shown that in this fight.
You know, he has brought a good crowd with him, Kieran. Obviously quite a popular guy, but what he's got to be careful of is not playing up to the crowd. You can hear them in the background. Some of them are calling for a bit more action. They want him to put the foot on the gas a little bit. But what he's doing is perfect, and he just needs to keep focus and discipline. And the only person he should be listening to now is Joe in the corner, which it looks like he is doing. Using his feet really well, moving his head good.
And he's got his good experience in the corner as well, Joe Gallagher, world class coach. So just needs to get back to his jab now, Kieran.
Yeah, get back to the jab. Nice measured approach. And like what we talked about, we complimented him in the first round about not getting too greedy. He can't fall into that trap in this round.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice little spin there.
Because Joe Hardy's trying to rough it up a little bit more now, trying to get into range, trying to stop Kieran from doing his lovely work that he's doing.
That right uppercut.
Yeah, he's definitely on, half a step back out and then the right uppercut.
See, this is where Joe just needs to do something a little different, because when Joe puts his... Kieran has to do something different, because when Joe puts his hands up and walks forward...
Yeah.
This is where we need to see some more shots from Joe.
Yeah,
that's when you need to see the uppercut.
As soon as he steps into those ranges, that's a little bit better. And like you say, it's the right uppercut's definitely on there.
Yeah, just touch to the head and right uppercut.
Yeah. Let him walk onto it. And Kieran's got the tools to do that. He's got lovely feet to do that. And to take that half step back out and land it. Like he's tried it there with that right uppercut. Lovely shots.
Look, bit of a different round there. Joe changed his tactics a little bit. He put his hands up, he walked forward, and he took a bit of a gamble. Got to be honest, I don't like when Kieran throws with him. I don't like when Kieran gets involved, because when Kieran's boxing, he moves his head well, he moves his feet well, and he jabs well. When he starts mixing it up with Joe, he looks a bit easy to hit.
Yeah,
I would prefer him not to get involved. Use your good boxing skills. You've got 100 fights as an amateur. You're a good amateur. You've won titles. Use your boxing. What I do think he needs to do, though, is when Joe comes forward with his hands up, he needs to pick him off a little bit better. He's landing that single jab really well, but maybe that single jab needs to become a double jab. Maybe he needs to put a bit more oomph into that jab. Maybe he needs to jab the body. But certainly, let Joe walk onto something. If he's going to walk forward with his hands up like that, put him onto some... The perfect shot's the right uppercut.
Yeah.
It's a shot there. I mean, he's had some success to the body as well, but I just want to see a bit more of a smart round this round from Kieran.
Yeah, definitely. And you're totally right there. He needs to use it. He needs to use his distance to his advantage and not let Joe smother.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't be letting Joe smother, because he's got lovely feet. He's got the boxing skills to do that. And obviously, with his experienced amateur pedigree, he should be able to do that. And obviously, with the right uppercut through the middle. And he's got to work it off his jab, though. We can't just let Joe walk in.
that single jab is good. It's nice, but it's not giving enough Joe. It's not giving enough sort of to keep Joe on the back foot.
Yeah, definitely.
So then what Joe?
Joe, because obviously he's experienced as well on the road. I mean, you can kind of see that coming, you know. So Kieran needs to give Tom a different look, and incorporating feints as well. Like, feints are a very good tool for a boxer to have, and they don't get used enough, and the importance of them. And if feint and then throw the jab, then double the jab, vary the jab, and then you'll find that you'll be able to land those other shots. Even jabbing to the body as well.
Yeah, these elements of the round where Joe's just not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's up to Joe. Joe's getting his hands up, he's walking forward, he's setting his attacks, but Joe's not doing enough. He's not throwing, he's not moving, he's not feinting.